We had planned to do the show outside, but Mother Nature didn't cooperate with that. So we're going to be doing inside, and the first thing I'm going to do is get this going, and then I'll tell you all about it, what went into it. I'm making grilled pork tenderloin, and I'm spraying my grill with grilling spray. Grilled pork tenderloin with an orange rosemary marinade, and it is out of this world. You can also take some of the marinade and do it, reserve it and do it as a basting sauce, which we're going to do. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get going on the pork tenderloin. And if you can do this like the day before, when I'm doing chicken or pork, 24 hours really is going to give it some great flavor. Now, if you just didn't think about it and you're doing it morning of, like in the morning before you're headed to work or, you know, out to picnic or whatever you're going to be doing this weekend, just get it in there in the morning, let it hang out in this marinade all day long, and it's still going to be terrific. But 24 hours is even better. So if you are having people over for a cookout, man, get her done. Get this done 24 hours ahead of time, and that flavor is really going to get in there. So we're going to get this tenderloin going. My family is a huge, huge fan of pork tenderloin. Every time I make it, they go crazy over it, and they say, "Mom, why don't we have this more often?" Bob loves it too, and you know what? It's actually really lean. It's in, terms of fat and calories, it's very much like a chicken breast. So very lean, cooks super duper quick, and really can be flavorful and something different. We do a lot of, brats and burgers in the summer, and tons of chicken in my house and steaks. So whenever I do pork tenderloin, it's just something a little bit different. On this indoor grill, now you won't have to do this on the outdoor grill, but on the indoor grill, I like to kind of weight it down a little bit so it's going to get some nice grill marks. And you want to do this over flaming hot heat. You want to really get a nice sear on it like you would be searing a steak. So I like to do this on direct heat. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the marinade, and we're going to use this marinade also as a great basting sauce. So it starts with 4 cloves of garlic. And I get asked all the time, how do you keep pork from, being dry as shoe leather, tasting like a shoe? Well, I totally get it. Pork is so lean anyway. All the cuts of pork are really, really lean these days. So a couple of keys: marinate, 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 marinate. Don't overcook it. The internal temperature you're looking for is that the pork producers have really lowered it. It's 145 degrees, so that's the internal temperature. It used to be we'd cook pork forever and a day, and it's so lean anyway, it'd really get dried out. So it can be a little pink inside, and that's going to keep it nice and juicy. So get yourself, or you probably already have one of those instant read meat thermometers. I can just kind of tell by feeling it, and after a while you'll be able to do that too. But don't worry about cooking pork for hours and hours. This is pork tenderloin on the grill, 15 minutes or so. So it's a pretty quick. Just when you get that 145, pull it off, let it rest, and that's another key. Let it rest for 10 minutes before you slice it up, and it'll be nice and juicy that way. And then I always love to serve pork with some sort of a sauce. So marinate, don't overcook it, and a sauce is also really great. That's gonna, being that pork's naturally a little dry and leaner, a sauce is really gonna help with that, and it's gonna add some great flavor. So 4 cloves of garlic, and it doesn't have to be perfectly chopped because this is just a marinade. It's not like we're going to eat this garlic straight up. Hey, this weekend, I've got an assignment for you. I want you to go get our latest book club book, or get it on your Kindle or your Nook, and read along with us. Join our book club. I know you've been wanting to do it, so what's stopping you? Come on, it's great, great fun. It's free, and the book club's coming up. You've got plenty of time. You got a week and a half or more. September 11th, we're meeting at the Bottle Room in Swamico. They do a really nice job. They provide some snacks and a great space for us, and then we can buy a beverage and talk. And it's just, we talk about the book. We talk about all sorts of great books that you've read lately. It's just a really nice way to get out of the house and do something different. So, and a great way to meet some new people. So please do it. The one thing that we ask is that you call and reserve your spot, so we know how many people are coming. So call today, the Bottle Room. The number's right there, 920-661-9463 to reserve your spot. Okay, so we've got our garlic all done. Now we're going to do some rosemary. The recipe calls for about 3 tablespoons of fresh rosemary So, and there is nothing like the smell of fresh rosemary. I am a huge fan, and in this recipe, being that there are so few, and yes, you could use dry rosemary, but there are so few ingredients in this, the fresh rosemary makes all the difference in the world. So we're going to do some in the marinade, and then we're going to do a little bit in the basting sauce that we're going to do. Just checking my pork here. I want to get some fun grill marks on it, so the way you do that is just kind of turn it a little bit. Okay, the one thing with fresh rosemary is it's wonderful, it smells wonderful, but you really want to give this a nice chop. You don't want big pieces of rosemary stuck in anybody's teeth. Never a good thing. And it's a very strong flavored herb, so really chopping it up is going to help spread it around and make sure that you don't want to get big pieces of rosemary. It's just too strong. So take your time and really give that a nice chop. You could even do this in the food processor if you don't want to do it by hand, just to really get that a nice fine chop. Okay. So in goes some of our rosemary, and we're going to save about a tablespoon for the end. Now, it's an orange rosemary marinade. We're going to do a cup of frozen orange juice concentrate. It's about a half of a can. And it's going to add some sweetness, some great orange flavor, something different. And then a third of a cup of soy sauce. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball that. So that's going to be our salt. Kind of add it as our salt. So we don't need to do any salt. And then we're just going to whisk that together. Now I'm going to take about half of the marinade, a little more than half, and just cook that down a little bit. And this is going to be our basting sauce that we can baste. And what you'll want to do is actually, if you're marinating this, take half of the sauce and refrigerate it, cover it and refrigerate it in another container, and then you're going to take the rest of the sauce, and I love to marinate in Ziploc bags. If you don't have one of those, glass or plastic is my container of choice when I'm marinating any type of meat. You don't want to marinate, and this is a beautiful pork tenderloin, and this is going to be enough marinade for about 2 pork tenderloins. When it comes to serving pork tenderloin, I normally allow 1 pork tenderloin is going to serve about 2.5 people. So when I'm grilling for my family, I always do 2. The leftovers are always a good thing. So, all right. So now this marinade, we're going to do it in this glass dish here, but Ziploc bag would be how I do it at home. Really get that around there. Get it in there. If you're doing it in a Ziploc bag, kind of give it a massage and park it in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours if you really want to get that great flavor. So we're going to say goodbye to this guy. Cover him and get him in the fridge. Let me give this guy a flip. See if we're getting those nice grill marks. We did. Special, special. And then I'm just waiting for my sauce, my basting sauce. So on your side burner of your grill, use that side burner, and you just want to simmer this a little bit to kind of reduce it down. And then we'll be basting this guy with that toward the very end. Now, when I talked about letting this rest. So when I pull this off the grill, which I'm going to do in about 5 minutes, I don't want to slice into it right away. Everybody is so tempted, and if whatever you're grilling this weekend, or I hope to be grilling well into October, maybe even, well, you know what? Actually, sometimes I will put a heavy coat on and gloves and hat, and in the middle of December or January, go out there when you're really craving that taste of a grill. I grill all year round, but I hope to be grilling for quite a while longer outside without the heavy coat. But whatever you're grilling, let it rest. If it's a steak, if it's even chicken breasts, let it rest before you carve it up. Just what I do is I put it on a plate, cover it with another plate, or cover it with foil for 10 minutes. Then I get ready, you know, the rest of the dinner ready, toss the salad, set the table, whatever. And then when you go to cut it, you're going to get, it's going to be so much juicier. If you cut it right away, it's going to be much drier. You're going to, you know, it just won't be as juicy. So let it rest, let it rest, let it rest, especially when it comes to a good steak or pork. So this is starting to cook down a little bit. My basting sauce, and I was looking for a brush in here.
No, on the counter.
She's got it all ready for my second recipe, my dessert recipe. Thank you, Ann. So toward the end, and you never want to sauce things, we're going to add some more of that fresh rosemary to this, just toward the end. And you never want to sauce things until the very end of grilling. So whether it's barbecue sauce, or in this case, we're going to do some of this basting sauce. And when I'm doing a marinade, I do this a lot, reserve some of it for a basting sauce. So you're really going to get that great flavor. So you sauce things the last few minutes of grilling. All right, let me touch this guy. He's got a few more minutes, so we'll continue to grill that. We'll let it rest, and then I'll carve it up. And when I serve it, I love to garnish with some fresh oranges and some fresh rosemary so that everybody kind of knows that this is an orange rosemary pork tenderloin. It is out of this world. Whatever side dish you're going to serve this with, potatoes, rice, whatever, people are going to rave about it. Great, fun flavor. Coming up, we're doing pizzas on the grill. Plus, we're going to talk about some fun beverages that you may want to serve this weekend. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.